Many months later.
Hi everybody, how's everybody's morning, afternoon, evening, and night? So basically I wanted to create this video just to voice my own opinion on why I got myself an RTX 3090 instead of the RTX 4090. So to keep the long story short and simple, basically I got myself a PS5 console back in 2020, which I was able to get it. And then after that, I was trying to see if I can get myself an RTX 3090 so I can upgrade from my EVGA Ultra KO Gaming RTX 2060 to upgrade from that to the 3090. And unfortunately, I was unable to get one because the scalpers kind of like scooped it up like it was nothing. So I was like, yeah, I'd be flipping kidding me. So I was like, that's a bummer. I want to slap them so hard with their shenanigans and etc. So eventually heading towards 2021, I ultimately heard the news about the RTX 4000 series, so I thought, interesting. So ultimately, been tracking it for weeks, months, heading towards 2022. I saw the video presentation from Nvidia, which I'll show you guys. I watched it very carefully, alongside with the 4080 and stuff like that. And I kind of saw the pricing right there, which it kind of has some kind of familiarity for some odd reason. So I thought, okay, seems a little bit similar. So I kind of went out of my way to just like compare it to the 3090's launch price, and saw it for like $1,499 for that one, and as well as looking at the one for the 4090, it kind of looked like a little bit of like a price gouge or something, which I thought was a little suspicious. So I went out of my way to do a little math and stuff like that. Once I do a little conversion rates, which I live in Canada, by the way, so you guys know at the time. So basically, I look at the launch price of when the 3090 came out, and converted to Canadian dollars, of course, it costs about $2,000 and $16.67. Once you include taxes and optional warranties, it'll cost that much, which I probably assume it's gonna be like about $2,300 and stuff like that. So I was like, nope. And then I look at the 4090's price, the launch price. I look at that one. I was like, yeah, that's not for me. I can't go for that. That's too expensive for me. So I didn't bother, to be fair. So after seeing the video presentation, as well as trying to look at the 4080. Oh, hold on. There we go. Having a look at the 4080, I'm looking at the VRAM, and I'm thinking to myself, why does it need like a 16 gigabyte and 12 gigabytes? Because I thought for certain that the 12 gigabyte was for the 4070 and stuff like that, so I find that a bit strange and unusual. So I was like, okay, something about it is a bit suspicious. So I kind of looked around a bit more, see what people's opinions are, and it kind of speaks for itself most of the time, and it's kind of cheeky, if you ask me. So I looked around for 4090, and then eventually I looked at 4080. As I looked around some more, find more details, see what people think. It's like the video kind of like lost its marbles all of a sudden and stuff like that. So I was like, that's a bit strange. And then I look at the 4070 and stuff like that, if it exists whatsoever, blah blah blah. So yeah, so once again, it speaks for itself, and I kind of led to a point where I kind of just wanted to resort to getting myself like an RTX 3090 instead. So I went out of my way to go to Amazon to get like the ASUS ROG Strix 3090, and I found a good deal out of it for about $1,300, which again, Canadian dollars, because it's a bit pricey in Canada, but luckily I was able to get one for a reasonable price. So $1,300 plus taxes, which is $169, and then eventually leading to a final total of $1,469 or 36 cents, which, if I recall in recent memory, so got a good deal out of it. And then eventually I tried to mess around with it with the mid-tower PC I had since like 2014. Found out the hard way, couldn't fit. So I went on my way to go on to Amazon again, get myself a Corsair 7000D airflow full tower PC. Heard great things about it. Got this, able to put the GPU in there, everything else in there. It's has a great amount of space, cable management, as well as better airflow. So that way I can get better temperatures and stuff like that. Which I did went on my way to remove the glass panel just to be on the safe side, so there's just avoid any overheating and stuff like that. And after I got this, I went to get a new power supply unit because just to future-proof it. Which I know most of you would think to yourself like, why on earth would you want to get that much? Because you never know. Because there could be those moments that I might be playing certain games that could be like power demanding, you know. That could be like more than one at once. So I thought, you know, just be on the safe side. Which I did have to mention that I got this from my local computer store, by the way. Which I got a good deal out of it from last year, by the way. A few months ago. For about $300, which I couldn't say no to that. Which is also gold certified, by the way, just to be on the safe side. After that, I got the Noctua from Amazon. Heard great things about it. Just to replace my old cooler because apparently it kind of wasn't strong enough to cool down the CPU processor. So I got this one. Satisfied. And I went out on my way to get new RAM sticks, of course. Which I bought 2 of these, by the way.
You what?
Which overkill, but very effective. Plus it has a heat spreader too. And then eventually I got myself a new CPU processor because to replace my old one, because my old CPU processor kind of had bent pins and stuff like that. So I was like, that's a bummer, but what can you do? And yeah. After that, I got myself a new USB microphone, of course, which to replace my Blue Yeti microphone, because unfortunately I tried to troubleshoot the my old microphone, just like troubleshooting, try to keep it up to date, as well as like unplugging from the USB port and replugging it in there and stuff like that. So to keep the long story short and simple, it kind of got like Gwen Stacy, unfortunately. It kind of fell from the, you know, you could probably say it's falling from high places, you could say. So, oh well. So I bought myself the HyperX Solo Cast, and the one I'm using right now, and it works pretty well. So I'm pretty satisfied with it. And plus, you can even like tap the top part of the microphone so you can mute yourself or unmute and stuff like that. Pretty easy stuff, which is pretty cool. And then I went out of my way to get myself a new boom arm, which I finally got one, just like everybody else. Because there are times and moments I put like a box underneath the microphone and I just accidentally knock it over by accident from time to time whenever I'm streaming a game or making videos, all sorts of shenanigans and etc. And yeah, the list goes on. So that's the kind of stuff I have, and luckily I was able to get one. Pretty satisfied with it. So now that I got that out of the way, I do plan to see if I could show you guys a little bit of a quick thingamabobber, quick stuff, just to see what's happening with the prices right now. Oh, wrong thing. Just to keep up to date with the prices. And on Amazon is a bit pricey if you get it like brand new. Luckily there's like used copies of it, which seems to be around like range between like $1,500 to $1,600 for used copies, of course, obviously. And I'm seeing one $3,000. I'm like, holy Jesus, that's way too expensive. And it's probably the most outrageous price I've ever seen in my entire life. So we're gonna pretend that doesn't exist, and that one too. And this very unusual looking price range as well, which is probably too demanding. Nah, we don't want to talk about that anyway. So you can see that stuff in Amazon, which I think I'd rather stick with the used copies, to be fair, because it was. Ugh. And then having a look at eBay, they do actually have like reasonable prices, like around the place, all around the world, I would say. So it's pretty cool. You know, reasonable prices. That's like ranging between like $600 to $1,000 and stuff like that. Blah blah blah. Because whatever like fits in your budget and stuff like that, which not too bad. As long as like it's not, as long as the people don't buy it from scalpers, then you're good to go. Because I have like the biggest gripes against scalpers. To be fair, I'm just kind of like iffy jiffy, so that's why I was being a lot more cautious when I buy stuff like this, you know. And yeah, so you know, just wanted to show you guys a little bit of a up to date sort of thing, and yeah. So we got that out of the way. What I plan to do in this video is that I might try to play a few games off of the PC and stuff like that. Which before we get to those games, I'm gonna go to the display, which I'm using the ASUS TUF Gaming 4K monitor, by the way, which I made a video, which I did actually in fact made a video about it since 2021, to what I recall recent memory, and you know, do a little experimentation. What I plan to do is that I'm gonna most likely play the games in 4K, see how it goes. If it kind of lags during the recording, then I'll probably tone it back down to 1080p just in case, be on the safe side. And then eventually I'll also might enable the refresh rate to crank it to 144 hertz, which you'll see on the screen, and etc. So just to do a little experimentation and whatsoever, etc. And then eventually we'll probably play like big games, random games, small games and stuff like that, which I'll play it off of my Steam so you guys know at the time. And yeah, so let's try and test out the games, shall we?
Huh? Where'd you go, блядь? Sure. Where are you, шлюха? No point tiring ourselves out.
Is that railgun ready? We're good to go, Bravo 6. Then shoot the damn thing.
It's right below you.
Holy shit! Look alive! Here they come! Hadouken!
So since we played a few games with the 4K monitor with 144 hertz and as well as the GPU, it works pretty well. Guys, I do kind of hear like a bit of like coil whine from the GPU, and it works pretty well. It's not too bad. So I'm just like, okay, cool. Not a big deal, because luckily I was able to have the full tower PC for airflow and stuff like that, so I can cool it down properly and etc. And yeah, so there were times and moments there was like certain games that were kind of like dipping a little bit down and then going back up, down again, up again. So it's kind of like a tug of war specifically. So I'm like, yeah, it kind of depends on like certain games that works well and games that don't work well. So what can you do? Stuff happens. And yeah, so that's what pretty much happened. And I'm quite satisfied with the RTX 3090 I have. Very happy with it. Because at least I finally got one. Like 2 years later. I was like, finally. It took forever, but I finally got it. And just before we finish the video, I just wanted to show you guys one little thing, which I got from last year, by the way, which caught my interest. Which basically I just went out of my way to like get something like this, and probably talk about it in my future video, of course. Which I went out of my way to get myself like a few accessories for its screen protector with a case, and then eventually I might try to include the other ones too, which I got from an online retailer, so you guys can see for yourself and etc. And yeah, guys, once again, I'll probably try and see if I can include more information in the description and as well as in the pinned comments, of course, so you guys can see for yourselves and etc. So I wanted to create this video just because I wanted to voice my own opinion on why I chose to get myself a RTX 3090 instead of the 4090, because just to say what needs to be said and whatsoever. And yeah, so once again, thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope everybody has a great morning, afternoon, evening, night, as well as staying safe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.